takes you on a wild ride through movies that are gloriously unsettling, mind-bendingly strange, and some that will make you even question reality itself. I'm your host, Hadley Thorne, and joining me are Alan Gamboa, the master of the macabre and weaver of chilling tales, Scott Baker, who's always armed with a scalpel of wit and a microscope of analysis, also known as the Sultan of Science Fiction and the decoder of dystopian dreamscapes, and finally, the king of the zombie apocalypse survival fiction genre, the champion of undead narratives, is the one, the only Rich Rasucci. And of course, I'm your guide, Hadley Thorne, founder of the Weird Realities Network, here to lead you through tonight's fantastical Weirdverse. These films will transport you, they may terrify you, but they will forever change you. So grab your Coke, your popcorn, and get those tinfoil hats, because it's about to get wonderfully weird. Hello, handsome men and beautiful women. How are y'all doing?
Who are you talking to?
Good. How you doing?
Damn. Hello. How are you?
Talking to y'all, talking to Landa, talking to Tony.
I see Tony. I don't see Landa.
She's out there. She'll be here shortly.
Oh, no. Well, you know who's not out there is Alan. Looks like he just dropped out. Oh. Hi, Mike. Hi, Max. Hi, Tony. I hear Landa's there, but I can't see her.
Oh, she'll be here.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
She wouldn't stand us up for zombie night.
No. Yeah, she's a zombie.
Hey, Max. Hey, Mike. How are y'all doing?
Look at this guy. It's Eugene Clark right there. Me with him at one of the cons I was at years ago. It was fun.
Do I need to add him?
Nothing. I can add him. There we go. Hey, it's Magic.
He's
you okay,
back.
buddy?
Weird. Huh?
This is weird.
Disappeared. Can you hear me?
Yes.
No, absolutely not. No.
Well, the Sultan of Science Fiction is not here tonight.
Oh no.
He said that the power was out, so I was hoping he would jump on, but I don't guess it's come back on yet. Mike said Landa's watching.
Well, that's good.
Dungeon Dan's here.
Dan?
Oh, good.
No. Rich
Max
loves
is here.
Romero films. Dan, you son of a Dan. No.
Well, let's go ahead and get started.
For Godzilla. A distaste. I had a distaste for that movie because it was boring AF. It stunk.
Well, I've been excited all week to hear y'all talk about zombies. I hate Scott in here.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Oh, Max said that
Max is up in the same area Scott is, and he says he's got power flickering. And I have it's raining like hell, and there's thunder and lightning, and my cameras are telling me that it's raining pretty hard right now.
Oh, Landa said they're shooting fireworks at her house, and her dogs are going crazy.
Excuse me, I don't know.
I told you there's a beautiful woman out there.
Oh man.
It's not that easy, Craig. I actually have two.
Yeah,
but I have to set them up, so that takes a minute. I have fuel for them, but I have to pull them out, and I don't have a complete background. I don't know if Scott does, but I don't. I have two generators, so I need to pull them out and hook them up. One's gas powered, one's propane powered.
I don't know why Tony I's comment made me think about The Boys.
The Boys? Which comment? We had a major thunderstorm?
No, he's in the middle between Rich and Scott.
Oh, yeah. Tony, you live in Revere, right? He's about 35, 40 miles north of me, right on the coast.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get started, guys. Which movie do y'all want to kick it off with?
Okay. Pick one.
Let's start with Cooties, because I know we're going to talk about Land of the Dead for a while.
All right.
So who picked Cooties?
I think I
don't know who picked Cooties.
I think Rich picked it.
Did it?
Oh,
Maybe. Yeah, but not it. One of you guys do it. Looks like it's
Hey.
happening.
Well, I caught this movie on late night some years ago, and I never watched it. I mean, like I wanted to, but it was just I think I came in, it was about halfway done. And so I got to rewatch it in its entirety this week, and I have to say it was fun and I really liked it. There's so much I like about it. I mean, it's no Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse, mind you. And it's definitely no Shaun of the Dead. But it was cute and it was fun and it made fun of itself and I kind of liked it. It starts off with Elijah Wood, Frodo, and he's an author, mind you, that is teaching school. I was really hoping Scott was going to be here tonight. Um, that he's substitute teaching, I guess, at the school one summer, or I don't think he lives there, didn't he? From New York. Anyway, he's back home,
Yeah.
and his
He's back home, yeah.
his old girlfriend from high school is one of the teachers, and her boyfriend is the gym teacher, and that guy was so funny.
White Shriek.
I know no
Yeah,
one's name.
Dwight
Oh,
Schrute,
happy birthday, Lando.
Rainn Wilson.
Yeah, Rainn Wilson. Yeah,
Is
tough.
that the guy? He's
Rainn
from The
Wilson.
Office, right?
Hey, Landa, happy
Yeah.
birthday.
Dwight
We
Schrute.
can if you want to. Greg, that's fine with me. But anyway, so the kid's like telling everyone he's an author and he's very impressed with himself, and it's just funny. And there's this little girl, she's been exposed to some chicken product, and she's having an outbreak, and the kids, so she looks terrible. All the little boys are making fun of her, and she's just terrible. Um One thing leads to another. There's a big bloody thing going around the playground. None of the teachers recognize there's an issue. And as someone who doesn't have children, I can easily understand how that could happen because that's how it all looks to me all the time when I see these little children playing. It just looks like a free range, you know, wrestling match. So anyway, I don't know. One thing leads to another, in that the little kids are actually like, it's almost like the, what was it movie? 28 Days Later, because they're not dead, they're just sick,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Right.
And they're attacking the adults, but none of the adults are getting it. So, can someone explain that to me? Because I don't think I'm caught that.
What do you
Well,
want to
it
do?
made them sick differently. It made the adults sick differently. Like Elijah Wood, he crapped his pants and had stomach flu and threw up and
Oh,
everything.
right, yeah.
Okay. Because I think that
Yeah.
I must have walked away at some point. Like I said, I've got other stuff going on, but I did think that it was a puberty thing. Hey,
It was
beautiful
a puberty thing. It was because the brains weren't
Yeah.
formed yet.
Ah, well, it was
Yeah. I
cute.
liked
I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed, like I said, the gym teacher. The gym teacher was the best part about it for me. He was a lot of fun. It's not the best movie I've seen. It's not the worst. I would recommend it if you're a fan of the zombie genre. It's a good, fun flick. It's probably not something you want to watch with your kids, but it definitely was fun. So,
Yeah,
what do you guys think about it?
Alan.
Go ahead, Rich.
So I saw this movie. Geez, when it first came out, I kind of couldn't wait to see it, and I saw it, and my wife really didn't like it. So I was like, yeah, we don't have to watch it again. I didn't hate it. I didn't think it was that great, but I watched it again. I think Sunday or Monday, and I thought it was pretty good. It was actually kind of funny. I liked Elijah Wood's character, but you're right, Heather. I mean Hadley, when you say the Rainn Wilson there, the guy, the gym teacher, he was actually fantastic. He was one of the best parts of it. But really, the kids were good too, because these aren't like stupid shambling zombies. They run, they sprint, they problem solving intelligence, and then some of them are also just kind of dumb. But the way they did it, there's like these blisters all over this little girl, and this boy goes to pull her hair, and just a big chunk of her hair rips out with his scalp and bloody. Oh, it was just brutal. And so there's a decent amount of gore in it. It's not fantastic, the gore,
Yeah.
but it's not bad either. It's pretty good. There's a lot of suggestive stuff between the teachers as well, and they sort of hash things out. And you'll I don't know any of their names really, except of course the two that we mentioned. But and that guy that played Hugo from Lost is in it. I can't remember his name. He's got a bit part. But
The guy from Breaking Bad too.
yes, exactly. And like I said, you'll know these characters from someplace, but I can't remember their names. And it was pretty well acted. You have your nerd, you have your jock, you have the cute girl. It's just stereotypical high school stuff that now they're teachers. I mean, stereotypical high school people who are now teachers, and it's their interactions during this, mini apocalypse and how everyone's afraid. And the name of the place that had the tainted chicken nugget, the name of the town is Fort Chicken, Illinois, which I thought was kind of funny. I don't know if there actually is a Fort Chicken, Illinois. Probably not. But yeah, this viewing, I thought it was pretty good. There were some things I would have changed, but overall, I liked it. I think I'm going to watch it again just to see if I really like it or if I was just like, it's okay. But
Well, the vibe of this movie is like somebody's friend wrote it and got money, and so all his actor friends said, "Well, let me have a part in it," and that was
Funny you
the
say that.
feeling of it.
Funny you
Oh,
say that. The guy that played the like the biology teacher or whatever, the one doing all the autopsies and all that on the kids and sticking his hand in the kid's head, pulling the brain out. That guy's name's Lee Wanell. He's Australian. He's a big force behind the Saw series. He wrote this and produced this. So Elijah Wood is a producer on this. And Hayden Christensen is a producer on this. Isn't that weird?
really?
Anakin Skywalker himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just,
well,
I thought that was odd.
I'm surprised we didn't see him.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Yeah. But he was producer on this. So you did it. You were right. They probably, a lot of those actors are comedic actors. In fact, most of them are comedic actors or comedians. You got Jack McBrayer from 30 Rock. He played the gayish teacher or whatever he is, in there. I like when he's on the phone to the cops and the guy's like, "Calm down, ma'am, calm down." That was great. But this movie's fun, and there's homage to Romero, of course. I think one of the best characters in this that got killed off right away was the vice principal.
Yeah.
His character was such a douche. It was just awesome. He come sit down on the office balls. I mean, that character is great, and I wish he would have hung around more. But his death was Romero. He got pulled open like the captain in Day of the Dead and his guts ripped open. Yeah, this is a fun movie. I thought I'd seen it before, but apparently I was wrong because we were watching it. Tina and I were like, "Did we see this one?" I thought I had, but I really didn't remember it. Yeah, but it's a good watch. It's funny and it doesn't hold back on the kids. Like like you're all saying, Rainn Wilson, his character was great. Well, when he's making a break for his life and he's clotheslining these kids,
Yeah,
he was a big football star in high school.
Yeah, that was awesome.
a running
that
back.
was awesome.
It was cute. I mean, I can't say that I would recommend it. It's something that I think if you like zombies, you'll like it. But the kids, they're like little piranhas.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You remember when they were on the roof and they're like watching the mom pull up and she's on the phone?
Yeah. That's brutal. That was a brutal
You're
scene.
gonna get her.
That
But
was
I mean,
Shaun of the Dead-esque.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
And
I totally enjoyed it.
And the guy that played the sheriff's deputy that shows up, he's great from Breaking Bad. I can't think of his name. Matt Jones, I think. And he always plays a stoner or whatever. And he's great. But he had like what? Maybe less than 5 minutes of screen time.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
was surprised
It's
because,
like,
you would think this is his kind of movie, he'd be the star.
Yeah.
But nope.
But in the whole writing the book part was great. You know, what was the name? Keel them all, Keel, kill them all, and that guy wants to blank a boat. Yeah, that was good. That was good. And his mom, the part where his mom he's getting the critique from his mom about his book. You know, I love your book. You know, Mom, come on, tell me. And then she just kills it, you know, crushes his book. And then she says, but I love it. I love it.
Yeah, that was good. Hey, Alan Lassiter and Doc Friday here.
Woohoo!
Yeah. Good day. Tina.
It's always
Hey,
a good
Tina.
time when they show up.
Tina, where's Tina? Tina's here.
Tina's here.
Tina showed up. Yeah.
Oh, there she is.
Showed up. Yep. She better be.
Yeah,
no, this is a good pick.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised, especially going into it thinking that I didn't like it and I had seen it before, and I was like, actually, this is not bad. It was pretty good.
It's definitely underrated. More people should know about it.
Yeah.
See, I was thinking it was Little Monsters.
Say again, Alan?
I was thinking it was that Australian one.
Oh no, that's a good one too. I actually enjoy that.
Is that the one with the petting zoo?
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah. It was good. That was good. Yeah, we should have thrown that. We could still do that. I suppose we've all seen it, right?
I think Alan made us watch it once.
Yeah, I saw it when
that's right.
Came out. It was good.
The lady had a yellow dress on. That's what I remember.
Yes, that's true.
And she played a ukulele.
Mm-hmm.
And she used it as a weapon.
Yep.
She's in that new horror movie, you know, the one John Krasinski makes with his wife, with Emily Blunt. What's that series?
The Quiet Place. The
Quiet
new
Place
one.
3?
She's the lead in that.
Oh, cool.
It's the day
Has it come out?
land. No, I don't think it's out yet. It might. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's called Quiet Place. I think it's called Day 1. It's the day that the critters land. So that could be interesting.
I'm looking forward to that because that looks full on apocalyptic, you know.
Yeah, it does.
I always like to see the origin of things like that, you know.
Yeah, the start of the apocalypse is always great.
And so what do we give this one?
Seen it? Oh, let's ask the Peanut Gallery if they've seen it. Has everybody seen Cooties? Yeah, y'all.
Craig's giving up secrets.
Yeah.
I enjoyed Cooties. I'm gonna have to give it probably a 4.
Fair enough. What about you, Big Mike?
I'll give it 4.
Wow, 4's around because I will also give it a 4. I'm sorry, I cut you off again. It's cut off Alan night. I'm sorry, man. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Alan? I missed you. What'd you say? What'd you say on that?
I said I cut you off again. I keep butchering your. I keep cutting whenever you're gonna try to talk. I keep talking over you. I'm sorry. I apologize. You're gonna say something when you rated it. No.
Didn't I make y'all watch Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse once?
No, I saw that in the movie theater actually when it first came out.
Could have sworn I made y'all watch it. I've seen it. Yeah, Dungeon Dan. I love it. It's one of those that's up there for me. But
yeah.
No.
This was no Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse, but it was very good.
Yeah, I have not seen that one actually.
You got to watch it. You'll never look at cats again the same way. Never.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's good.
How do you know how I look at cats right now?
You like them.
Love cats. Who doesn't like cats?
I know you don't. You're not a dog person. You're a cat person.
Yeah, I'm a cat person.
I don't hold it against you.
Thank you. Actually, I got kids, and when you have kids, you got to feed and water them. That's enough most times.
I mean, you don't have to. You're supposed to. There's laws and stuff, but you don't really have to.
That's true. You're supposed to. You're right, Rich. Hey, Rich, who's taller? Are you taller than Big Daddy? He's 6'2" or 3.
Yes. Yeah. I actually leaned in on that one. Well, I used to be 6'5". I'm starting to shrink. I'm 6'4" now. So.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Big Daddy, and that's me a little taller than him next to him. And it was back when I was
it looks like it.
Skinny. Not all of me skinny.
Yeah, you look taller than him in that picture. You know, he wore 2-inch heels. I think he was 6'2", 6'3", and he wore 2-inch heels to look bigger in that movie. So
Yeah,
so
I
it
thought he
looked
did
like you
well.
then.
I don't know anything else he's ever been in. His name is Eugene Clark. Very nice guy. Super nice. He's like, yeah, come on over. We'll take a picture. Boom, boom. I actually have a picture of him as Big Daddy someplace. I don't know where that is. It's upstairs, I think. But yeah, that was a good day when we were at that. It was Walker Stalker Con. It was in Boston. That was a good day.
Yeah,
We got
cool.
to see a lot of the Walking Dead characters. We got a picture with Michael Cudlitz. It was great.
That'd be cool. Are you taller than Michael Cudlitz?
Yeah, I'm calling everything.
Yeah, you're taller. You're the Jack Reacher of
I
the
wish.
book world.
Well, Romero was
Start calling
6'5",
you Reacher.
so he had me beat. Although not when we were both younger, I guess I was 6'5" back then. But hey, it is what it is.
So we're launching into Land of the Dead.
Yeah, let's launch into
Sounds
Land of the Dead.
So whose pick was this? I know it had to be one of y'all's.
No,
It was mine, but Rich, do you want to go with it?
I mean, I
Because you
could
seem like you have a lot of insight. Huh? Yeah. Do you want to do it?
on Land of the Dead. I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm ill prepared for it, but I'll go for it.
Can I
Um,
give my trivia before you get
yeah,
started?
go
Because
ahead,
I'll
go for
forget.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I kept wanting to say this. I had no idea that Romero was a fan of Shaun of the Dead, and
Yeah.
that Simon Pegg and the other guy made appearances in Land of the Dead. I didn't know that.
Well,
So that
it
was
was
my
Edgar Wright.
trivia that I found out this week.
it was Simon Pegg and Edgar Wright. It wasn't. Um, oh my God, what's his name? I can't remember his name. Um, Edgar Wright is actually one of the writers of Shaun of the Dead and a producer, I think. He
He
wasn't
might
the
have been
guy
the
that
director.
started. Yeah, maybe he might have been the director. He wasn't. What the hell is the other guy's name? That starts Peanut Gallery. What's the other
Nick
guy's name?
Nick
That
Frost.
Nick Frost. Thank you. Oh my God, they're
Frost.
in like 6, 7 movies together. They're best pals. And he wasn't actually in it. It was Edgar Wright and Sean Penn and they were the ones that were tied up. There were zombies, and they were tied up to. People were taking pictures with them, and they were snapping and stuff like that. I don't know if you remember that in the movie, but that's
Yeah.
where they were in the film. Good
Well,
trivia.
did you know that he had that Romero had wanted them to be like leads in the movie, and they
No,
turned it
that I
down?
didn't know.
No,
They turned it
no.
down.
Hmm.
You know
They were just
Simon
happy to be
Baker?
there for the pictures.
You know Simon Baker, he had never done a horror movie before, and he wanted to work with Romero. And that's why he got the lead of this movie.
He did
Now,
okay.
So
He
that's pretty cool.
is
and
that the
Leigh
minimalist
Whannell was
guy?
great.
Yeah.
Dennis Hopper was great. Asia Argento was in it. She was pretty good. She's
Yeah.
since had some social issues, I guess. But the film itself was it 2005? I think it came out
Yeah,
2005,
2005.
and it was
2005.
it had a budget. It had a budget of like 15, and it made 45. So for a horror movie, that's good, pretty good. But for a Romero movie, it was kind of not great. But honestly, I think this is one of the best of the Romero films. I wouldn't say it's the best. I'm a big Day of the Dead lover. I love Day of the Dead. And of course, Dawn of the Dead is what it is. But this one was it had a lot of action, and it had a lot of zombie gore, if you like that. It was the first time in any Romero movie that you see a zombie clown. So there's some trivia for you. But Dennis Hopper is this super rich guy, and he has at the start of the zombie apocalypse, he got this place in Pennsylvania, and it's like almost like Three Rivers Stadium, but it's like a city, and it's got rivers on two sides. It's a peninsula, so it's got rivers on two sides, and it's got land on one side, and he fortified the place, paid everybody to do his bidding, and now he lives like a king in a big tower. And if you're super wealthy and you pay him a lot of money, which I didn't really understand the whole money thing.
Yeah.
It was actual, dollars and cash. If you paid a lot of cash, then you could live in the tower with him. And it was the rest of the people lived like slaves and stooges and did his bidding. Um, and they would go out on forays. And Simon was what was his name in the movie? I can't remember his name in the movie.
Riley Dimbo.
Riley
Dimbo.
Riley is like the lead scavenger, and he's built this vehicle out of a semi truck that's called Dead Reckoning. It's super armed and it's armored, and he goes out and he steals stuff and loots stuff from pharmacy, old decrepit pharmacies, because the apocalypse has been running for 15 years now. So he'll go out and he'll get drugs and food and that kind of thing and bring it back. And Dennis Hopper, of course, he claims a lot of it. One of Riley's, guys, he's got his own sort of squad, is John Leguizamo, and he's sort of, I'm the best, I can do what I want type of guy, and he ends up getting a guy killed, sort of, and Riley and him have kind of a little bit of a falling out, and it's Riley's last day. Riley is quitting. He's got a vehicle, and he's just going to take his buddy, and he's going to fly up, he's going to drive up north. And so he goes to get it. When they get back from the foray, he goes to get his truck or his vehicle, and it's gone. And you find out later that, Dennis Hopper is in control of everything, and he has taken his vehicle. So in the interim, while this is all happening, John Leguizamo goes up and he's got some booze, and he wants to go to give it to Dennis Hopper. And they have a conversation because John Leguizamo's, he's like, I've been doing a lot of stuff. I want to go and live with the rich people in the big tower. And Dennis Hopper's like, yeah, you're not our kind of people. No, that's not happening. John Leguizamo, he gets control of Dead Reckoning. And he says, if you don't give me all kinds of money, which again, that just doesn't make any sense to me. But if you don't give me all kinds of cash, then I'm going to fire these missiles on the city and kill everybody.
Fiddler's Green. Fiddler's Green.
Fiddler's Green, yeah, right. And in the interim, and while this is all going on, the zombies are sort of evolving. They're getting smarter, and they have a leader. And the leader is this guy over here. Yeah, I can do this. Eugene Clark. His name is Big Daddy, and he's a very dead, former gas station attendant. I guess he was I don't know. He's got a jumpsuit that says Big Daddy on it, and he's like, he's done with all these humans coming in and killing all of his zombie buddies. So he gets a little zombie army and he marches on Fiddler's Green. And the way he does it is he walks over and he literally steps off the dock or off the edge of the water, splashes down, and they walk across underneath, Pirates of the Caribbean style. And they come up on the shore and they just start killing everybody. That's, they do what zombies do. So the whole rest of the movie is everybody fighting off the zombies, which, you can't do. There's just too many of them. And Riley trying to get Dead Reckoning back. This is classic Romero, tons of gore. And if you actually had the DVD or the Blu-ray, which nobody does anymore, but if you have one of those, at the end of it, there's this, I can't remember what the music is, but it's sort of classical music to all the gore scenes. And there were some specifically horrible gore scenes in this. And it's just playing to this classical music. It's like a 5-minute short or something like that at the end. I highly recommend watching that because it's not funny to see someone eviscerated by zombies, but this is funny just because of the way they play it. But this is probably top 5 zombie movies for me. So I'm just going to go ahead right now and give it a 5. And what did you guys think?
Can I go, Hadley?
No.
Oh, he wants to go.
This is your jam.
Huh?
This is your jam. Go.
This movie holds a special place in my heart. It was released on my birthday in 2005, and I knew that was a sign.
It was a birthday present to you.
Yes, it was. And just a real quick story. I probably told this one before when we've talked about this, but Tina had a surprise. She had a bunch of the kids that were working on a little zombie movie in town, dressed up like zombies. And when we came home from the movie, we pull into my driveway, and I got attacked by zombies. It was really cool. Good thing I wasn't carried.
Did you kill?
But that was really cool. So that always resonates with me. But this movie is it's my favorite, just right below the original Dawn. I watched it again last night, loved it, but then you see you see the warts, but the warts are fine. This had the best actors in any of the movies he made. It had the best acting group of actors. You know what I mean? It had the best acting in it. I guess is what I'm going for. Um, so it had some really good gore when that hand gets pulled from here and here, and the arms split in half. It's just showing a shadow. That was something I'd never seen before in a zombie movie,
It was great.
and that was awesome.
Reaching in the guy's mouth. That was another
Yeah,
one.
yeah. And Simon Baker, I was a big fan of Elementalist at the time, and I thought it was just awesome. Yes, you are amazing, Tina. You are. But so that just it sold it to me, and I love this movie, and I watch it every year. I think it's one of his best. But there's things in it like, why are these people dressed up the way they are? Most people would be naked or in their burial clothes, or why is this couple still holding hands? Were they holding hands when they got attacked? But then we talked about it. We talked about it, thought maybe since they're evolving, they remembered what they felt about each other and were holding hands. Um, and they felt pain, right? They got shot and they would go, and zombies aren't supposed to feel pain, but maybe they're evolving, right? Maybe they're evolving and they're starting to feel their pain again, stuff like that. But it's a movie I love. So I overlook that, I overlooked that, all that crap. But this movie, uh, I guess it was left over from Day of the Dead, some of his original script of what he wanted to do. Because when he did Day of the Dead, it was supposed to be this big budgeted movie, and of course the studios wouldn't do that for a zombie movie of that type. So some of the scripts from Day of the Dead of what Day of the Dead was going to be. It had the kid that gets killed with the cigar. He shoots himself. He's going for the cigar with John Leguizamo, and he gets bitten by the cop. That's Sean Roberts. He's been in probably 7 zombie movies. At least 4 or 5 of the Evil Dead movies is Albert Wesker, and he was in Survival of the Dead and Diary of the Dead. And there's another zombie movie, I forgot the name of it. So that dude, zombie pro. The guy that played the butcher, he's been in a few zombie movies. He was in the remake, Zack Snyder's movie. He was one of the truckers, the guy they pull through the sewer when they're trying to get away.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So there's a lot. And he also brings back this character, Brubaker, the armory guy that gets attacked, and they come in and he's eating, he's a zombie and he's eating. Well, he's the National Guard guy, the main guy from Survival of the Dead, the main character, and he's in Diary of the Dead. When they pull over the RV with the kids and hassle him a little bit. So Romero liked that character, so he put him in those 2 movies after he killed him off. So that's just some little crap there. But this movie's his best acted, I think, best zombie effects. And to me, it's always been an action movie with zombies. Robert Joy, who plays Charlie, the guy with the burns, I love his character. I love that scene when he tells Riley Dimbo, that's some nice shooting. And Riley says, it's good shooting, Charlie. There's no such thing as nice shooting. I mean, that I love that. And when Dennis Hopper comes out and says, zombies, man, they creep me out. I got that tattooed on my arm. But his character was great in this. He just did a good job. You hated him. Lucas Amano, I don't care for him, but I thought he did good in this. That and The Pest, I think, are his 2 best movies.
Pest is good.
This one, yeah, everybody should watch this one that's a Romero fan. And I don't know why some people don't like it, because I think it's one of his best works in this. And it was shot in Canada and made to look like his hometown because it was too expensive to film here in the States. They got the tax breaks and all that. So it was actually filmed in Canada. And a lot of the actors in there are Canadians. a lot of Canadian actors in the small character roles. You'll recognize them from like TV shows and crap like that. You know,
Is
and
Simon
Asia
Baker
Argento. You know, Simon. No, he's Australian. He's an
is he
Aussie.
Australian?
He's an Aussie. And Asia Argento. You know, her dad, big in the '70s and '80s horror world. You know, the Italian.
Yeah.
And also he produced a lot of the of Romero's movies, I believe. So this had a lot of Easter eggs in it. You look through it, you see the Tom Savini zombie, you know.
Yeah.
Um, that was great, you know, even though he doesn't move like a zombie because he's looking right at the guys while he's gonna, you know,
Yeah.
hack them up, you know, he's not acting like a zombie, you know. But that's great though. You see Savini and you're like, that's Tom Savini, you know. So well, at least that was me going that first time I saw that movie. That's Tom
Thanks.
Savini.
Nerds.
But I can't give this movie enough love. I love it. I watch it at least once, twice a year. Yeah. Um, so what do you think, Hadley? I'll give it's a 5 on me too.
This is actually probably my favorite of the Romero films. So I really like it. There's things about it that I really liked. And in my opinion, of course, I'm not a big zombie file like y'all are, but I thought that they were getting their humanity back. That the more that they're dead, because it's been a while, since the first zombie movie, what, like 50 years? um, is Alan stuck? But anyway, I like that that they're remembering what they were. They're no longer these mindless killers. They still have the lust for the blood, but it's not consuming. They're, like you said, the couple's holding hands, the guy's doing his job. They're remembering their humanity. And that was cool to see, and I don't know that another zombie movie had ever done that before. So it was really interesting. And I also, there was little things in it that I liked. Like, one of the things that I really that stands out in my mind is how the people who are supposed to be like the uber protectors of the what was that place called?
Fiddler's Green.
Fiddler's Green.
Fiddler's Green. They're not like, the guy didn't even know how to shoot the gun, like, he didn't know how to preserve his ammunition. It was little things like that that you see that it's just basically it's what's left. That it's not it's not like in some people's books where everybody's a uber badass. It's the people who are left who, they might not shoot the best, but they're still alive for whatever reason. I love the Dennis Hopper character because to me he's the epitome of seven deadly sins there. He's totally just obsessed with materialism and greed, and he's just the what you think of when you think of what's wrong with, yeah, what you think when you think about what's wrong with society. He's it. And he was talking about how he spent his money on what getting them back into gambling, giving that to the little people, giving them stuff to
Yeah.
do, and basically he's feeding their debauchery in order to, keep them, not thinking about what he's doing.
Bread and
So
circus.
yeah, it was great. So there's, like I said, there's a lot of stuff I like about this, and this is probably I call him the minimalist, but the minimalist guy was really good in it, and I haven't really seen him outside of that role much, so I enjoyed it. So I would say this will be my favorite of the Romero films. Yes, I think Dungeon Dan said it best. He's the embodiment of government greed.
Well, I read, and Romero, I love Romero's movies, but he always throws his politics into it. And he based Dennis Hopper off of Donald Rumsfeld when he was in office. Because this was probably 2003 when they went into pre-production on this thing, 2004 maybe. So that's who it's Dennis Hopper's character is based on. And Romero said that Hopper's cigar, check this out, cigar budget cost more than the original Night of the Dead cost to make. Isn't that crazy? That's insane. He's only in a few scenes really smoking the cigars, you know, so holy crap. He's puffing on the bad boys.
I think the reason that Dennis Hopper makes such a good bad guy is he's so soft spoken. And
Yeah,
he kind of has the crazy eyes.
And his inflection, you know,
Yeah.
when he's saying things, you
Mhm.
know, he always plays a good bad guy. Black Velvet or Blue Velvet,
He's sniffing the oxygen.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's too bad that he's gone because he always played a good bad guy.
Yeah.
True Romance is probably one of my favorite movies he's been in.
He was the
You
dad.
know, they changed the ending of that movie. Did you know that?
They who?
Well,
It was
The producer?
they were
since we've
supposed to
seen
not.
it, or I mean, I need more information there, Alan.
No, they originally the ending was going to be with him dying. What's his name? The main character and
Christian
her
Slater?
taken off without him, you know, and not ever having really loved him. But it
Well,
tested really bad with the audiences, and so that's why they changed the ending to the ending that it has. So better ending. The one they refilmed.
well, the scene that I'm talking about is him and is it
Christopher Walken.
yeah, Christopher Walken.
I know the scene you mean. It's great in the trailer.
Mhm. It's really
Yeah,
good.
great.
Oh, there's Bethany. Hey, Bethany. Lots of pretty girls in the house tonight. Yeah, Bethany
That's
and
what folks
Jen and
do.
Landa. That's just so that I
We got
can
a
see
crowded
lots of
house.
pretty girls.
We got a crowded house.
So what are y'all going to give it?
Oh, we all gave it a 5.
We all did. Does that include me?
Yeah, you said 5 too, didn't
Yes.
I said it's my favorite of the Romero films.
you? There you
But
go.
yeah, I'll give it a 5 just because y'all love it.
Scott would have given it a 5 too.
Scott would have given it a 10.
Yeah, he does that.
I hate he's not here.
Oh. Yeah, that's too bad.
So we've got a
But
lot
you know
of
what's sad
time.
is
Oh, that Scott isn't here?
no, well, yeah, that is sad. But what's after he made Land of the Dead, the rest of his movies that came out, I shouldn't say this.
Don't say it.
They weren't
You'll get
they weren't
eviscerated.
they weren't up to par. Can I be nice saying that? There's a word I want to use, but I do
They
love
didn't have
Romero.
I
But
don't think they had the budget that they did.
oh yeah.
Land of the Dead had like legit actors, people who have a. I mean, like Leguizamo at this time when he made this movie was at his height. Is when he was killing it at the box office. He was in Spawn. He was just Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. He was just in everything.
And he wanted
And
to be in a Romero movie too. So
Everybody.
people want to work with Romero at that time. They wanted to work with him.
well, and I really think that the following movies, because they did lose something, but I think it had a lot to do with the budget. I don't think it was him. Obviously, I don't think it was him, but I do think it was budget related. Because I
By
mean,
the
like
time
there's one that I mean, it just looks like a B movie budget.
by the
B
time you
movie
get to
actors.
Survival,
Yeah.
well, by the time you get to Survival of the Dead, you're kind of like, because Diary of the Dead and what was the other one? Diary of the Dead was unique, but it just, I don't know, that it was, during the, what do they call it, where the found footage, it was a found footage type of film.
Yeah, it just wasn't good.
Yeah, it just didn't have even with a low budget. I mean, Night of the Living Dead holds you, and that had a very low budget. They just didn't. And by the time you get to Survival of the Dead, you're kind of like, it's kind of, I don't know. And I love Romero movies. You know, I wouldn't be writing these books if it wasn't for Romero.
Same.
You know,
Dan, you're very pretty. Absolutely. We can't
and
You
leave
don't
that
need
out.
makeup, Dan.
pretty girl.
No makeup for you.
I'm
Nope.
happy that Bethany considers it a guilty pleasure.
Yeah, that opening scene, and I think there's a lot of celebrity voices in that part where they're, you know, it's just the voice actors talking at the beginning about the outbreak and stuff. I think there's a lot of celebrity voices in that.
Didn't know that.
I read somewhere. So there's a lot of Easter eggs in that movie. A lot.
Yeah, well, the Shaun of the Dead characters, that was pretty cool. I think that's cool of both of them, both Simon Pegg and Romero. That was fantastic.
Well,
And I
yeah.
know Romero loves Shaun of the Dead as well. Shaun of the Dead's probably my favorite zombie movie. It's
Yeah.
so
Sean,
so well done.
they did that right.
Yeah, they did.
They did. Well, do you know Bub is in this movie?
No, I
Bub
didn't.
is in this movie.
Who is
You
he?
know, when Lucas Amano is in the liquor store and he's standing there and that zombie busts out of the case and attacks him.
That's Bub.
That's Bub.
I didn't know that.
Rewatch that scene and look at his neck and look what
I
he's
will.
wearing. He's still got the collar on,
Oh, he
and
does.
he's
That's
yeah,
great. I was not paying attention to that. That's great.
yeah.
That's a fantastic
I was
Easter
like,
egg.
is that Bub? And I stopped it. I looked at it and everything, and I read in the trivia that that was Bub. So now we know what
Well,
happened to Bub.
I read that Romero got the idea of some of his ideas from Shaun of the Dead for this movie.
Oh wow.
That I think it was more of how people were using them as pets and all, because at the end of Shaun of the Dead, that's kind of what they're doing,
Yeah.
is they have them
Mm,
working, and so that's kind of where he got that from, which is kind of
yeah.
awesome. You know, it just shows what a cycle creativity is when you say that, you know, they were inspired by him and then he's inspired by them, and it's just a big cycle of zombie love. Um, I will say this too, that for when Shaun of the Dead came out, they said that Romero would walk around with a there's not a sticker, but what they are, a pin that said Shaun.
Oh wow.
So, oh,
Well,
Ash
they
is
really
gone.
did pay him. Yeah. Or yeah, Ash. Where's Scott?
I think Scott's got a girlfriend. He's cheating on us.
Uh-oh. Yeah,
Yeah.
no power. Well, he probably doesn't want to commit because the power's in and out. So,
We would just think it was the CIA.
all right.
Yep.
Agree.
Yeah.
CIA.
All right. So I'm about to die to talk about the Dragon Show, House of the
Okay,
Dragons.
go
And
for it.
I didn't know, and I'm going to hold off if the Peanut Gallery would prefer to talk about the boys or for us to talk about um, House of the Dragon.
Anybody terrified about hearing about House of the Dragon?
I haven't seen The Boys, but I did watch House of the Dragon. So if that helps.
Well,
Go ahead, Headley.
I'm all about House of the Dragon. It was. I rewatched the whole first season, so I'd be prepared for the second season to start because I didn't want to miss anything. And I just wasn't disappointed at all. I can't wait for the next episode. Alan, let's talk about it.
Well, I wish I would have watched the season over again, you know, because I was remembering things as it happened. And then Tina, she wasn't remembering anything, and I had to keep telling her, you know, hey, that, and this, that, you know, that's why this is going on, that. But it was good. It was a good episode. It's gonna be it's more downcast than Game of Thrones, definitely.
Well,
Definitely. And
yeah.
there's that one scene, you know, and there's that one scene where she finds the remains, you know.
Yeah,
That's a pretty good scene.
yeah.
Well, she never found the son. Never.
No.
Yeah.
So that was all. And that was Cyrax's son. Her dragon. that was one of her eggs.
Huh.
So
It looks to be pretty exciting going forward. It's going to be, they're going to have a lot of death.
Yeah, there's some sadness too, though. That's gonna be. I don't know if you know what's gonna go on, but it gets pretty brutal.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Game of Thrones, so it's always brutal. I mean, they have no respect and for the sanctity of children in this TV
No,
show.
no. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
well, so let's
that
start at the
sound.
beginning, and I'm hoping everybody's seen it. So it seems like a lot of our chat room has, and I don't want to give any spoilers, but guys, I probably am going to because it was so good. It obviously starts off with Rhaenyra looking for her son Jace's body, and it's been a couple of weeks now, and there's no sign. And that was a question that I have. It is if anyone can help me with this. So, who told that he had been eaten by the dragon? I mean, who reported this? Because um, the one-eyed kid didn't.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You remember Damon came in
yeah,
at the
right.
end of the last season and told her, and that was kind of how it ended. But you never saw who told, and I was like, well, I mean, I
Well,
mean,
it
I
was
just don't
probably
know.
someone that was at the interaction at the castle before he took off on his dragon. You know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, but
then
who would want to carry that message? Knowing what was going to happen.
yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Max says
Well, Max
Allison.
Allison said Rhaenyra
Right.
Raven.
Oh,
Sorry,
well.
killed your kid. What you
And
gonna
I
do?
just got to say this because I have been
Here's
wanting
some
to dish the
flowers.
tea about Allison because I am not a fan, and I'm going to say how dead was her husband in the ground or burned by the dragon before she was riding on old gold cloak. I mean, he wasn't good and dead yet because it had
They're
only
not
been a
supposed to
couple of
have
weeks.
sex. How he's not
Well,
supposed
she's
to
not
have
supposed to
sex.
have sex, but I mean, so had they been having sex all along? I mean, what
Think
the heck?
so.
And that was what I mean,
That's the
and
impression I got.
I wouldn't spit on him if he was on fire. But let me just tell y'all, what was it he said
Look at
about
food.
Rhaenyra? You know, that she
Well, what
tarnished
did he say?
him, that she sullied him, that he gave up his oath because of her. And we're talking about a
Yeah.
spurned, bitter man.
Oh
Sorry, I
yeah,
can
he's
get fired
great.
up about that. I don't like him at all. And now him and Allison was talking about, oh, well, she was cheating on her husband and she was, none of those kids were his, and look at what she's doing.
Yeah.
And was
Yeah.
y'all is not even saying I need a female on here with me. Sorry to
There's
badly
a
say
bunch.
this.
Linda,
Well,
Bethany, Jen.
I know. Well, y'all speak up. But at the same time, he's left his post. So let's go back and remember how when the kid lost his eye, he had left his post. So had he left his post to be with Allison then?
Well, maybe.
I mean, it could have been going on all along.
And he had left his post when, and the thing is, I mean, well, I guess they just thought that no one was going to break into their palace, but I mean, come on. Um, no one was guarding Allison's door. The little girl with the baby just walked in, you know,
Yeah.
and caught her in a.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Kristen Cole.
Yeah, well, her guard was doing things that they shouldn't have been doing. So
Yeah.
that's
He started
how
out as a
Well,
good
they
guy.
take a, but really, do we know anything about him, Alan?
He was a good guy, and he got spurned by love, which turned his heart cold into a Christian coal heart.
And he's so bitter, though. He's so
COAL.
so bitter. Such a bitter bastard he is. I'm
Yeah,
probably
you
gonna
don't
get us
like his
thrown off the
character.
internet. Um,
You don't like his
I just
character
I
at all.
just think that he is a hypocrite, and so is Allison, and I just don't like her at all.
she's one of the characters that you're supposed to be on the fence about. I
I'm
mean,
not.
one of Rhaenyra's best friends, so or former best friend. So,
Frenemy. Come on,
well,
Rich.
now, yeah, but they grew up together. They loved each other, and they had great
She
times
fucked her dad.
together. I know
Oh,
that. I
oh,
know. I'm not making
oh.
excuses. I know all of
Yeah,
that.
but then she screwed her uncle.
Yep.
That's their
I'm
thing,
not
though.
saying she's
That's
a
their
wonderful
thing.
person. I'm saying you're supposed to be on the fence about her because she's only really doing this for her kids. So at the end
She
of
was
the
not
day,
doing the dad for her kids. She was doing the dad because her
yes, she
daddy told
was.
her to.
She did the dad because she did it for her father because her father wanted to have the
Her
power as
dad
well.
prostituted his 16-year-old
Correct.
child
Yes, I know
for
this.
power.
Yes, you're not wrong. However, she still did it for her dad, and then when she realized, hey, now I'm going to have kids with this old man. Okay.
Well, and I
So now
like
she
that she
wants to do
seemed
it
to
for her
be.
kids.
I thought that she seemed to be, a firm caregiver for him in his later years.
Yes, she was.
Because he was just rotten up, just falling apart rotten.
Well, that's because the Iron Throne kicks you off. If you're not a
You're not
worthy king,
worthy.
you cut yourself and you die. It kills you.
Well, and I want to address this whole Targaryen weird stuff with the family they have. I think it's because they're dragons. They're dragon hybrid people. They think that the blood mages made the Targaryen bloodline with dragons, human.
Yeah. I mean,
So,
she didn't.
and
What do you call it?
their little babies are always like have little wings and scales. So,
The problem with these people is they didn't have TV. If they would have had TV back then, there wouldn't have been all this bullshit going on. They would
I
have been
don't know.
watching Survivor
I don't know,
or
man. It's getting worse.
you
Look
know.
what's going on today. Can you imagine? Can you imagine the politics of today with dragons involved? Come on,
Oh
Yeah,
the
yeah,
whole earth would be
yeah, that's
scorched.
true.
I
That's
love the
true.
dragon.
I like when we're watching this, we say, and Tina and I, one of us will say, back then, and then we're like, wait a minute, that's not back then. That's a fantasy world, because you get caught in the medievalness of it, and you're like, yeah, never mind.
Oh,
Never
Max is
mind.
saying the scene that got to him. That got to me too.
Yeah.
That little Jace. Oh, and what did
Oh
y'all think
yeah,
about?
when he
What
start
did y'all
crying.
think about the dragons not flying over the wall?
Oh
Did y'all
yeah,
Yeah,
catch
that
that?
was.
they know better. Of
You know what's
course,
what's
that
cool is
doesn't happen
the one
later
guy's
on.
kind of being Jace is kind of being like the wall, blah 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 blah, and the what's his name, the wolf guy is like, there's a reason there's walls here, and we're like, and all of us are like, yeah, we know what that reason is, but Jace is like, oh, the wall, blah blah blah. We can, give us men, blah blah. No one, no one needs to guard this, this wall bullshit, basically. And no, we know why that wall's there. Zombies, bam, it's a zombie wall, and then we'll
Well,
find out in 1,000 years
at that
why that
time
wall is
though,
there.
the long night had not been that far from happening, so did remember. The North did remember then.
Yeah, but Jace didn't. Jace is like, nah, fuck this wall. Come on, send us all
He's
your
a
men.
he's a
No,
puppy.
this
He's a
wall's here
puppy,
for a
Alan.
reason.
He's just a
Oh,
little
I
He
know,
puppy.
doesn't
I
know
know.
any better.
But that was just me because I knew
Yeah.
that wall was important.
Well, I'm interested to see what they're going to do with the wall because they did drop some big Easter eggs there that kind of tied it into the other story. So,
They
but it
should
was
have
good. It
Sean
was
Bean
good to
come
see
back
it.
they should have Sean Bean come back as a relative.
Wouldn't that be nice?
That would be funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stark. That'd be cool. Hey, you
That'd be
look
great,
just
great,
like
great, great. It's the bloodline, the wolf bloodline. What are those people? What are their last names? The wolf
Yeah,
Mike,
people?
Mike Lewis.
Stark. They're Starks.
Yeah,
All
Mike.
right.
Stark.
Mike let the dogs out. Everybody, Mike let the dogs out. If you're
Now
reading
we
in the
know who
chat.
it is.
Yep.
Well, I did notice
Stark.
that.
Thank you.
I just noticed everything about the little wolf guy. I did notice too that the wolves at what is that place called? Winterfell, they actually look like huskies. not wolves.
Well, they weren't dire wolves. That's why the wolves that the Stark kids got in 1,000 years from now, those are all dire wolves. They're not just regular wolves, so they're much bigger.
I just mean a statuary. There was like a statue. It just looked like a dog, not a wolf. It just anyway.
Enjoy.
All right. Well, that's an hour. So I guess we're gonna cut it short. Well, I guess it's not short. It's right at an hour. But next week were we doing Shark Week? We decided
Yeah.
we decided to boycott Groundhog Day because no one could take it.
Yeah. Again.
Mhm.
It's funny, Alan.
I'm good with
So
never,
next
ever.
week,
No,
kids,
not
we're
you.
going to be watching some shark movies. We will be reporting back to you what they are. I think someone suggested the Paris underwater movie, and I had suggested, what was that one I sent you, Alan?
Oh yeah, yeah. Under the water or some under some or I saw that one. Can't. Yeah. Yes. 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 Let me look. If you're still talking, I'll look and
I'm still
find it.
talking. I'm looking too.
Max brought up about the dog getting kicked in that, and I was like, "Yeah, that guy's dead."
Oh yeah.
They kicked the dog. They were gonna.
Well, that was not the worst thing he did. That poor little
No,
girl,
no,
though.
true.
That poor little girl. She already had seen what was going to happen. So she knew that there was nothing she could do to fix that.
Yeah, Deep Fear. Yeah, Deep Fear. Deep Fear is the movie.
Okay, so Deep Fear and what was the other one?
Under Paris, I think.
Under Paris.
Under Paris.
Under Paris.
And at some point we're going to watch Tremors season 1.
Yeah.
I still have to watch Tremors. Is it on Plex? Does anybody know?
I don't know. I can. We can talk about that.
No.
But the Tremors TV show, I think that was only 4 episodes and it got canceled.
Okay.
I don't think it made a
And that
full
was
season.
with the original.
I'll look into that. What's that, Alan?
Yeah. That was with the originals too. Kevin Bacon and Fred Ward were back in that.
I don't know if Fred Ward is in it, but I definitely Kevin Bacon is for sure in it.
Yeah, it was. I think they made it into an hour and a half long movie because whoever ran the plot, I don't know if it's a Sci-Fi Channel or whatever, the pilot episode, that's all they did. They didn't go any farther with it.
Yeah.
And I didn't believe it. And Blaine brought it up to me. He said, "Hey, Dad, I know I saw Kevin Bacon in a preview for it. I know it." And I'm like, "No, he never came back."
Yeah, he did.
I looked it up. He did, and it's there. So there is a Tremors movie out there with Fred Ward and Kevin Bacon.
All right.
So
All right. Well, okay, so we'll continue doing House of the Dragon next week, which, I mean, like I said, I'm all about the dragons. And I'm going to give my trivia about the dragon heads before we go. There are 3 different types of dragons. The guy that made them used a wolf skull, a horse skull, and a Tyrannosaurus Rex skull as the mold to make the dragons. And on that note, kids, we are out. Rich is giving you the finger, and I'm gonna say, stay weird. Tomorrow night on Weird Awakenings, they're gonna be talking about dragons, and I plan to be there. So if you want to hear me all fired up again, we're going to talk about whether or not we believe dragons ever existed. So until tomorrow, stay weird.
Good night, everybody.